This is the solstice, the still point of the sun, its cusp and midnight, the year's threshold and unlocking, where the past lets go of and becomes the future, the place of caught breath. Margaret Atwood. My name is Kat. I am a member of the Mystic Grove, First Unitarian Church of Orlando's Pagan Study Group and CUPS chapter. I also have the pleasure of serving you as the Secretary of the Board for Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans National. If this is your first time celebrating the winter solstice with us, a special welcome to you, whether you're here with us in person or online. With me today in our service is our music director, Aubrey, Reverend Margley, the Chalice Choir, our house band, EMC, the folk ensemble, our wonderful AV team, and our teen camera persons, and other Mystic Grovers and friends. We welcome all of you to join us as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, a faith which draws us into community to seek justice, commit us to lifelong spiritual growth, and to provide compassionate service to the community. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here. You are welcome here, regardless of your color, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. As a Unitarian Universalist congregation, we are a non-creedal community and do not subscribe to a specific set of beliefs. We live by a covenant that encourages ethical behavior, affirms democracy, and celebrates worth and dignity of all of us. It unites us in a search for truth and meaning. I invite you to check out our weekly update on our website. And for more information about our congregation, you can go to orlandouu.org or email our welcome team at orlandouu.org. Our Unitarian Universalist living tradition draws from 6 sources. Today, as we celebrate the winter solstice, we draw on our 6th source, the spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions which celebrate the sacred circle of life and instruct us to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. Keep in mind, this is not a pagan ritual. This is a UU service, which includes pagan and earth-centered readings and music, little tastes of what you might find at some pagan rituals. Our opening reading is called Chalice Lighting for the Winter Solstice by Reverend Sharon Wiley. This solstice night, in honor of ancient traditions that celebrate this time of longest night, we observe that the flaming chalice holds the elements of the 4 directions: earth, air, fire, water. The lamp oil for earth, the air that feeds the flame, the fire we light, and the chalice itself, the cup, the symbol of water. We light our chalice and reflect on the light we need to guide us through hard times, the light of our shared faith, the light of loving community, the light of love, joy, and hope. Please join me in the words of our chalice lighting. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share.
A pagan practice that Mystic Grove often uses in ritual is a call to the elements or directions. Such prayers remind us to engage all parts of ourselves in worship, body, mind, heart, and spirit, and remind us to acknowledge the wider cosmos in which we live. It also helps us to create the sacred space for worship. For those attending in person, I invite you to stand and face each direction. If you are attending digitally, you can point to the corners of your screen. We will call the directions today in song, Each verse honors one of the directions and ends with, "Be here now." Please join in with those words as you are able, and then turn to face the next direction. This evening, we will begin facing north for earth and turn clockwise around the circle and end facing the center of the room from the place where you stand.
Perhaps, for a moment, the typewriters will stop clicking, the wheels stop rolling, the computers desist from computing, and a hush will fall over the city. In an instant, in the stillness, the chiming of the celestial spheres will be heard as Earth hangs poised in the crystalline darkness and then gracefully tilts. Let there be a season when holiness is heard and the splendor of living is revealed. Stunned to stillness by beauty, we remember who we are and why we are here. There are inexplicable mysteries. We're not alone. In the universe, there moves a wild one whose gestures alter Earth's axis toward love. In the immense darkness, everything spins with joy. The cosmos enfolds us. We are caught in a web of stars, cradled in a swaying embrace, rocked by the holy night, babes of the universe. Let this be the time we wake to life, like spring wakes, in the moment of winter solstice.
Today's collective reading to honor the dark and tonight's waning crescent moon is by Reverend Bruce Marshall, The words for the collective reading appear on the screen. Please respond with the words in all capitals. We live in many darknesses. We are often uncertain. We are sometimes afraid.
In the darkness, we light a candle of hope.
We all have sorrows. We have known pain. Each of us carries special regrets.
We light a candle of forgiveness.
We are sometimes lonely, and the world seems cold and hard.
In the darkness and loneliness, we light a candle of warmth.
We have experienced times of joy and happiness and have received numerous gifts of the heart.
In the darkness, with gratitude, we light a candle of thanks.
We have known awe, wonder, mystery, glimmerings of perfection in our imperfect world.
In the darkness, with wonder, we light a candle of praise.
We come together with our uncertainties, sorrows, joys, and wonder.
We bring together many candles, many lights. May our separate lights become one flame, that together we may be nourished by its glow and befriend the darkness.
Once upon a time, the people gathered to honor the longest night. Not all the people. For some, this was any other evening of a full winter holiday season. Others, they were accustomed to watch the sky and to learn, to attend to more than the garlanding of lampposts and the unfurling of merry holiday lights. These people knew that what happens in the sky and beyond also happens in the minds, hearts, and souls of the people below them. Inspired by the magic of the earth, the mystery of the sky, the bonds of community, they gathered in the evening. They lit fire, that primordial flame, comfort and tool, weapon and refuge, life in the cold and darkness, the community hearth. They listened and watched. They celebrated with drums, dance, songs, and stories as they counted the hours. Fire centered them, fire of creation, fire of vision, fire of first magic. Eventually, the thoughts of each turned inward. What ideas or projects or new beginnings spun in the dance of the flame? What stark truth did the light lend strength to see? What visions glimmered beyond the edge of the fire out in the rippling gloom? One turned her thoughts to a spark smoldering within her, an ember she was emboldened to disclose in the comfort of her circle. She turned to her partner asking, "Will you help me birth this light?" He nods. "Yes, I will help you birth this light." Yet, a light, a vision, a vocation, a life, all take a community to nourish. Hope burgeoning, the partners turned to the whole of their community and asked again, "Will you help us birth this light?" "Yes, we will help you birth this light." "Thank you. Let us birth this light together." And thus, a light was born into hands eager to cradle the tender spark. One of the youth, eager to forge a story of their own, thrust a torch into the fire. Holding it aloft, they turned to a friend. "Will you help me carry this flame?" Their friend leapt to their feet, smiling in anticipation. "Yes, I will help you carry this flame. Now the torch was bright, and the friends beamed even brighter, but the night was vast and the shadows deep. The youth paused at the edge of the circle, peering into the unknown. The two took a deep breath and looked back at those around the fire. Then the two, grinning widely, shouted to the whole community, "Will you help us carry this flame?" "Yes, we will help you carry this flame." Carrying the strong light of support, the two friends laughed, "Thanks!" and thus a flame blazed bright against the dark. One of the elders cast their memory over their many seasons of light and shadow. Tonight would be just the sort of night to seek the fleeting radiance best visible in deepest darkness. They turned to their friend, asking, "Will you walk with me into the sacred darkness?" The friend, knowing the lure of the mystery, answered, "Yes, I will walk with you into the sacred darkness." Knowing that others shared their journey, they all turned to those who had ears to hear and quietly questioned, "Will you walk with us into the sacred darkness?" And those that heard whispered back, "Yes, we will walk with you." In silence, they slipped away into the shadows, eyes searching for an elusive spark. The circle continued to hold vigil through the night, through the ebb and flow of songs, stories, and the moments of crisp quiet. Each looked into their own darkness, into loneliness, into fear, into grief, into despair. Each a separate darkness, but joined by a shared light. Each looked into their own mysteries, into joy, into wonder, into comfort, into growth. Each a separate journey made brighter by companionship. They waited together with attention, with intention, with hope. They waited as we all must wait for the coming of the dawn. Blessed be. At the center of some pagan rituals, there is an energy raising, which is then directed into a working. Today, we raise energy through dance, focus it in meditation, and then charge the offering baskets with song. We will use the energy created to bless the Yule log as well. I will be your spiral dance leader this year. For those attending in person, we will have a large spiral dance in the courtyard after the service that includes everyone. But for now, we have some inside spiral dance volunteers, if they could come forward. And if you are attending from home, feel free to do a simple side step or grapevine step to trace a spiral on the floor. To do a grapevine, think about your right leg. First, it crosses in the back, and then it crosses in the front, and then in the back and front again. As you dance, spiral inwards, and then when the spiral has become small, turn around to trace the spiral back out. In this way, we can dance together, here and those far away. The many spirals make one larger spiral dance across time and distance to express our hope for peace and to call out to the light above from down below. This year we danced to a new to us song by S.J. Tucker called "In the Name of the Dance." It is performed by our church band, EMC.
You don't have to speak, you can do it in the dance. You don't have to hide, you are safe within the dance. All of us are free in the heart of the dance. So I'm gonna be in the name of the dance. Say yeah. You don't have to speak, you can do it in the dance. You don't have to hide, you are safe within the dance. All of us are free in the heart of the dance. So I'm gonna be in the name of the dance. Say ah. You don't have to speak, you can do it in the dance. You don't have to hide, you are safe within the dance. All of us are free in the heart of the dance. So who's going to be in the name of the dance? Circle is here, he lives in each of us, in perfect love and perfect trust. The circle is here, he lives in each of us, in perfect love and in perfect trust, yeah. You don't have to speak, you can do it in the dance. You don't have to hide, you are safe within the dance. All of us are free in the name of the dance. So who would it be in the name of the dance? Say yeah, circle is here. The circle is here. Oh, you don't have to speak, you can do it in the dance. You don't have to hide, you are safe within the dance. All of us are free in the name of the dance. So who would it be in the name of the dance? You don't have to speak, you don't have to hide. All of us are free in the heart of the dance. So who would it be? You don't have to speak, you don't have to hide. All of us are free in the heart of the dance. So who would it be in the name of the dance? You don't have to speak, you can do it in the dance. You don't have to hide, you are safe within the dance. All of us are free in the heart of the dance. So who would it be in the name of the dance? Circle is here, lives with each of us, in perfect love and perfect trust. The circle is here, lives in each of us, when we meet in perfect time and perfect trust. Last time, you don't have to speak, you can do it in the dance. You don't have to hide, you are safe within the dance. All of us are free in the name of the dance. So who would it be in the name of the dance?
Let's spend just a brief moment in meditative prayer using the words of Christine Robinson, Winter Solstice Meditation. This was wonderful. We join our hearts and minds together in a time of meditation or prayer, spoken, silent, sung, and shared. It is a precious time, and all precious time want preparation. So I invite you to settle yourself. Sit as straight as you can, both feet on the ground as well as you can, and take a deep breath. Take another deep breath and hold it for a second. And really feel yourself breathing in and holding it. And then relax and release it. Close your eyes if that feels right for you, for vision is the single most energy-intensive activity of our brains. These next few days are the days of the winter solstice, a time when those who are very attentive to the skies note that the sun, which has relentlessly moved southward on the horizon since last June, seems to pause on its journey from beginning to climb northwards to center again. Solstice is a time for pause. So pause. And let's breathe again. Breathe. Relax. Rest and be at peace. And just listen meditatively to the following words. Spirit of winter rest, help us to enjoy your peace in this quiet place. Remind us to pause during the season. Grant us awareness. Keep our gratitude fresh each day. May the songs in our heart be blessings and insights to us and to others. And may compassion always shine forth from the depths of our hearts. May it be so.
Our ushers will come for the in-person guests using the collection baskets. As willing and able, you can also make a contribution online. If you'd like to make an offering to support the many ministries of this congregation, you could go to orlandouu.org and click the donate button in the upper right corner. You could also donate by sending a text or sending a check. This month's Share the Plate recipient is Shepherd's Home. There are many ways to give to this community partner. The slides will appear again at the end of the service. Please join our chalice choir in singing Midwinter's Day by Dom the Bard.
dance away. All over the land, a chorus of voices will sing the rising sun on midwinter's day. On midwinter's day.
After having raised so much energy, I invite you to focus on the offering basket projected on the screen and imagine the in-person and digital offerings that were made. Fill the offertory with your good thoughts and intentions. Keep any energy you need to recharge yourself and send excess energy back down to the earth through your feet. We bless today's offering so we can share our light with the world and help light up others. We remind ourselves that we are the fire tenders, so the flames of justice, community, and love can burn brightly to warm us all. May it be so.
All throughout these months, as the shadows have lengthened, this blessing has been gathering itself, making ready, preparing for this night. It has practiced walking in the dark, traveling with its eyes closed, feeling its way by memory, by touch, by the pull of the moon even as it wanes. So believe me when I tell you this blessing will reach you even if you have not light enough to read it. It will find you even though you cannot see it coming. You will know the moment of its arriving by your release of the breath you've held so long. A loosening of the clenching in your hands, of the clutch around your heart. A thinning of the darkness that had drawn itself around you. This blessing does not mean to take the night away, but it knows its hidden roads, knows the resting spots along the path, knows what it means to travel in the company of a friend. So when this blessing comes, take its hand, get up, set out on the road you cannot see. This is the night when you can trust that any direction you go, you will be walking toward the dawn. Our listening song is Rising Green by Carolyn McDade, performed by the Folk Ensemble. I invite you to listen and follow along with the words on the screen.
Our solstice prayer is an excerpt from a longer version by Terry McKenzie. On this longest night of the year, before the light overcomes the dark, sit in the dark and think about the importance of darkness. Bless the mushrooms that grow in the dark and the honeysuckle that sends its luscious scents into the night. Be grateful for the darkness that soothes us to sleep, the darkness that animals require for hibernation.
Give thanks for sheltering dark places, the rich earth where seeds germinate, the caves that harbored our ancient ancestors and where some of our sun gods were born, the cellars that keep us safe from tornadoes, the wombs that provide our first nourishment. Acknowledge the darkness of suffering, which can deepen our appreciation of life and strengthen our connection to one another. Close your eyes now and relax. Let us praise the loving mystery dwelling within us in our wondrous garden and our galaxy. Let us ponder the wonders of both darkness and light. For the original flaring forth, for the searing explosion that began all we know of the universe.
Let us give thanks.
For the sun that dominates our solar system and that makes life on Earth possible.
Let us give thanks.
For the distance Earth stays from the sun, for Earth's axis, for the gravitational spin assisted by our moon.
Let us give thanks.
For our ancestors who eons ago celebrated the longest night of the year and the promise of brighter days.
Let us give thanks.
For our brothers and sisters of other religious beliefs who celebrate their special days this season, and for those living and dead who have enlightened the world by their example and teachings.
Let us give thanks.
For being alive to celebrate this solstice, and for beloved friends and relatives whose memories warm our hearts.
Let us give thanks.
May it be so.
Shortly, we will be sharing the flame that we've set alight here during our prayer of thanks. And before we do, I'd like to remind everyone of a little bit of candle protocol. Once your candle is lit, please do not share the flame by tipping your lit candle toward another's. Instead, offer your lit candle upright. I think there's a picture there for you to see on the screen. This prevents hot wax from dripping on people. We will share the light kindled during the candle ceremony with song. To get us started in our song, the members of Mystic Grove will sing it through one time while we gather the flames that we will share. Once the first round is complete, some of the singers will share the flame. Please share the flame carefully with those beside and behind you. Once your candle is lit, please join in on the song so that we can add voices as we add flame. Those attending in person, please find your candles now and prepare to receive the light. And for those attending from home, this light is for you.
One spirit in the dark, like a candle wavers. Many spirits joined as one, burn with the power of the blazing sun. There is strength in community, a circle empowering you and me. The circle binds yet sets us free. In the goddess' name, so mote it be. One spirit in the dark, like a candle wavers. Many spirits joined as one, burn with the power of the blazing sun. There is strength in community, a circle empowering you and me. The circle binds yet sets us free. In the goddess' name, so mote it be.
Just as we created the circle and welcomed the elements at the beginning, we bid them farewell at the end, again with song. As willing and able, please rise in body or spirit to face each direction for each verse of the song. You can also point to the directions on your device screen if attending from home. We begin facing the center of the room from where you stand, looking up. Next, we will face the west for water and turn counterclockwise to cycle through the remaining directions. We invite you to join in the words, "We bid farewell," at the end of each verse.
Thank you for your sacred presence, all are one and all are whole.
Okay, our closing reading is In Celebration of the Winter Solstice by Stephanie Noble. Do not be afraid of the darkness. Dark is the rich, fertile earth that cradles the seed, nourishing growth. Dark is the soft night that cradles us to rest. Only in darkness can stars shine across the vastness of space. Only in darkness is the moon's dance so clear. There is mystery woven in the dark, quiet hours. There is magic in the darkness. Do not be afraid, we are born of this magic. It fills our dreams that root, unravel, and reweave themselves in the shelter of the deep, dark night. The dark has its own hue, its own resonance, its own breath. It fills our soul not with despair, but with promise. Dark is the gestation of our deep and knowing self. Dark is the cave where we rest and renew our soul. We are born of the darkness, and each night we return to the deep, moist womb of our beginnings. Do not be afraid of the darkness, for in the depth of that very darkness comes a first glimpse of our own light, the pure inner light of love and knowing. And as that light grows and glows, the darkness recedes. As we shed our light, we shed our fear and revel in the wonder of all that is revealed. So do not rush the coming of the sun. Do not crave the lengthening of the day. Celebrate the darkness here and now, a time of joy.
Okay, where's the chalice?
I saw your
Please join me in the words of our chalice extinguishing. We
extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Our benediction is Blessed is the Longest Night by Barbara Howe. Blessed is this, the longest night, for it marks the turning of the year. Our ancient ancestors needed to know how long they would have to wait for their flocks to give birth, their crops to sprout, the hens to resume laying, the migrating herds and fowl to return. This night marks the time when the dark gives way to the light and the cold gives way to the warmth. Let us rejoice with the seeds which now lie dormant and with the animals hibernating in their burrows and dens. Let us await the return of the sun in the certain trust in Mother Nature. And let us join with all her creatures in this time set aside for rest, rejuvenation, planning, dreaming, and hope for a bright and peaceful future. And so it is done. Whether you have to leave us now or you choose to stay for extra in-person spiral dancing and fellowship in the courtyard outside, know the light of this community goes with you. You are welcome here anytime if you should ever need rekindling. Always. Our closing song is Solstice Night by S.J. Tucker and performed by EMC. I invite you to sing along. Words will appear on the screen.
Now comes the solstice night. Wish you. Oh, I lost my note. wish you safe and warm. Got it. Now comes the solstice night. I wish you safe and warm. Whether snow be light or heavy on the ground, our hearts bring back the light, as all the earth must do. May stars fill up our sight with wishes coming true. My wish this solstice night is grace and peace to you. Now comes the time of year when shadows yield the throne, the lords of oak and holly, the dance that must be done. Keep the faith and keep your candle. The sun is sure to rise o'er the sleepy fields of winter, bringing beauty to eyes. Shalom to you. Shalom, my friend. May bliss and beauty bless you, my friend, through all your living and through your loving. Winter hearth and home be your own shalom. Upon this solstice night, I wish you safe and sound. Whether snow be light or heavy on the ground, our hearts bring back the light of all the world must do. And may stars fill up our sight with wishes coming true. My wish this solstice night is grace and peace to you.